It's time for Saturday Hockey Talk. And I only realized about 10 minutes ago that I didn't make an intro for Saturday Hockey Talk. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to the show. How's it going? Hope you're having a good night. It's Saturday Hockey Talk. The Habs are not playing tonight. So I thought, why not do one of these? Haven't done one in a while. I think the last one was just before the preseason started. So there we go. We'll talk about whatever There's since the last Saturday Hockey Talk, lots happened. Right, we've had Lane Hudson's potentially Calder Trophy season, well underway. I'm blanking on. We got Jacob Dobish. We got Alex Carrier trade. We got Patrick Laine. We got now the Caden Gooley injury. There's lots to talk about. We haven't had, a show like Saturday Hockey Talk to talk about it, except we do tonight. So, can you tell I didn't write anything for this? So let's see who's here. And if you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything you want, go ahead, mention it in the chat, and we'll talk about it. Greetings, Mr. Wonder Phil. How's it going, Phil? Let's see. I hope everyone is enjoying this wonderful winter. What's wonderful about it, though? It hasn't been horrible, but... Hey, conservative lawyer, how's it going? Daniel, BL. Welcome in, everybody. All right. I don't have anything prepared because it's not really about... I do have a couple things, but I'm kind of saving them for tomorrow's game. They're in Anaheim tomorrow at 4. Don't forget. So we'll go with you guys. You guys have the floor, and I will answer whatever you want me to. Every day above ground is a great one. At your age, you shouldn't be thinking like that. Things are about to change. The hockey analysts are saying that Hughes will deal for top 4 defenseman. I had that feeling up until I want to say about 2 or 3 this afternoon. I was like tingling with there's going to be a trade, and then they called up Owen Beck and Logan Mailloux. So I still expect there will be a trade. I just don't know if it's as quick as I thought they might go about doing that. I also kind of think Logan Mailloux, they kind of maybe want to take another look at him up here before making a decision on what, they're going to do going forward. I don't know. Phil, the afternoon games, 4 o'clock, it's not that bad. Not as bad as next weekend. There's 2, 1 in the afternoon games because of the Super Bowl. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're all, I guess they're all good enough. There's benefits and whatever to both. It is what it is. That's when the games are. We should talk about what to do with Pez. Marty barely knows who he is. Might not have met him yet. That's not true. But, what do you want? What do you want them to do? What would you do? For me, Pez is the 13th forward, right? He's the extra guy. You know what he's bringing, and he's not moving the needle, right? He's not. So in this situation where they are, with the 4th line being as good as it's been, no need to have Pez there. And as far as him having a future in Montreal, come on. He's not. He hasn't got. Delorier would get the same treatment, though, dude. This is a team trying to make the playoffs, right? They need everybody to play at their best to be as good as they can be and all that stuff. They need guys that can move the needle a little bit. Those 2 guys aren't moving the needle. What's my response to those same analysts saying that the old Patrick Laine seems to be floating around out there the last 4 games? It's a good question. I really wish you didn't hit me up with that one. Um, there's something going on there. I don't know if he's floating or is he got an injury that no one knows, like something like that, something small. I don't know. I can't say I totally disagree with them or that I totally agree with them. So there you go. I'm kind of, I guess, on the fence on that. But 5 games, I don't think any points. He's disappointed me at times too with his play. So I'm gonna say I would. I don't know if I want to call it floating. He's not been as good as I was expecting him to be in the last 5 games. How's that? Pez needs to play, but I mean, listen, he's they're going to move on from him probably at the deadline or let him walk at the end of the season. I don't know what to tell you. I feel for the guy. I don't dislike Pez, but what do you want them to do when they need to win games? You try not to put guys in that you don't think will help you necessarily. And that's not to say Pez can't do anything, but I'm just saying, right? Fourth line's been great. I don't know where you want to put Pez. Maybe a new Fortnite came out? What do you mean? Oh, I get it now. I get it. No, that's not fair. But I do get it. Leafs handling the Oilers 3-0 out in Edmonton. What are you going to do? I don't know that I'm expecting sandpaper from Line A. I don't think that's what they mean by floating, though, right? I don't think that's what they mean. And injuries will happen. And listen, at this point in the season, pretty much everybody that's on the roster has something that's nagging at them, right? Just because Nick Suzuki hasn't missed a game due to injury doesn't mean he hasn't been injured at all. He's just been able to play through whatever he's got. All right. Speaking of tomorrow's game, actually over in San Jose, right? We're playing San Jose on Tuesday. They just got rid of Michael Granlund, their second line center. I don't know who they're going to replace him with, but it looks good for a win over there. The game's coming up, right? We got Sunday, they're in Anaheim. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's San Jose and LA. At the very least, they got to win Anaheim and San Jose. At the very least, they got to win those games. And they need a winning streak. They need to win as many games as they can, but they got to win the next 2. LA's a different story. It's a tougher team, but they got to win the next 2. What do you guys think on that one? What else can I say about the road trip? I feel good for the road trip. I know they haven't been playing great, and they're going out west again. I think they're a tired team that does need some time off. They got 2 days, yesterday and today. They have the afternoon game. Then they got basically a day and a half, almost 2 days off. Or no, a little over 2 days, right? Sunday afternoon. Yeah. So I'm hoping for the best for the 2 the San Jose and LA games. They should be the LA game. I don't know. Be second game. It's second of back-to-backs. I can't speak tonight. But for San Jose, they got to beat San Jose and they got to beat Anaheim. They're falling out of the race a bit. So nobody want to talk to me now. That's it. All right, we did what? How long? Good. We got a good 10-minute show in there. Yes. Yeah, I mean they're tired. This is the 3rd time out west in a little over a month. So it's a lot of travel they've had. It's a lot, and they played hard games against hard opponents. So, they're really going to benefit from the break for the Four Nations. They're really going to benefit. So, I hope, they lost the last game, right? I hope of the next 5, I'd like to see them win 3 because they had 6 when I made this prediction and I wanted them to be 500 and they lost the first one. So, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't tell. Well, I don't have to be off the top of my head. I have it right here in front of me. Let's see. I'm trying to figure the 2 games. 2 games after. Who's the weekend? The Super Bowl weekend games. New Jersey is here, and Tampa is here to close out the games before the Four Nations. So it doesn't get easier next weekend. So I just hope they haven't fallen out so far from the race that, when they get back from the Four Nations tournament break, that they're still in a race. Care to comment on the deals made by Vancouver? Yeah. I think Jim Rutherford is proving he's too old at this point to be a GM. Obviously they cut out one of the factions in the locker room wars that was happening there, right? It was Pedersen and his group, and it was Miller and his group. Obviously, there was apparently 2 factions, right? I think these trades, and this is Matt's theory. I didn't think of this myself. I'll give credit to Matt. Yeah, it looks like they traded Miller, and they traded guys that were his guys in the locker room to hopefully make peace. But it's the returns that I don't know. They got worse. They got worse. And in the end, when they made it plain that they had to trade these guys, because of what was going on, there wasn't much chance for them to be getting better after the trades. You knew they were going to take it on the chin, but we'll have to see the results, but I don't know. My first impression is, man, Vancouver didn't do well in those 2 trades. Why are so many aircraft falling out of the sky all of a sudden? Because Orange Jesus fired everybody and gutted the safety commission over there a week before the first plane crash. Boom. It took a week. It's not hard. Just read the fucking news, man. Pedersen better shine because Columbus apparently had an offer on the table for him. You can't wait a second. You can't tell me that you think they're going to trade both. Like Pedersen's. Oh, I see what you're saying. Listen, I think Pedersen at 26 and is probably the more high end talents, like skill wise player. I don't see. They gave him 11.6 million AAV for something. Is that his brother? I don't know. They've got 3 Pedersens now. And they might even have a Patterson. So if there's another Peterson they should get him and make a line. The Peterson, Patterson, Pedersen line. You're super interested in Vinny Desharnais? Why? What? I don't see why we'd need that guy. Listen, I don't know what Vancouver was thinking, excuse me, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me like if I'm a Canucks fan, I think I'm pretty pissed off today. And I don't see what other moves they might have up their sleeves. A lot of trades, right? You got those. Philadelphia sending Frost and Farabee to Calgary. I can't remember who came back in that trade for him. I can't remember for some reason. So you got that, and then you had the San Jose sending Granlund to shit. Where did they send them? I can't remember. I'm just I can't remember where San Jose sent Granlund. Where is Zegras ending up? I mean, listen, I don't know. I don't think we're willing to pay anything for Zegras. Honestly, I don't think so. Have I been known to be wrong? Of course. But that's my feeling. I don't think we're going to end up with Zegras. Doesn't mean they won't do it, but that's my feeling. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about that one. So, you tell me that then. What's so end all be all about Zegras that you're begging me for? Like, I don't get it. What's so end all be all about Zegras? There's other guys out there that can do the job probably better than Zegras. So why him? Because of his friendship with Caulfield? Yeah, BL. The other day they screamed at each other on the bench, and he benched Michkov, and yeah, I think Torts is going to be done as far as behind the bench over there in Philadelphia in the offseason. Cody Ceci was the other guy to Dallas. They went to Dallas. Thank you. And they got back what, 2 draft picks? Am I correct? That was what the return was, right? But there could have been other players involved. I don't know. So, but Phil, why? Just because they're friends? Guess what? Cole's friends with a lot of guys. So is everybody on the team. Why is he so shit hot then? Mike Greer's doing a good job, but I'm not so sure this was a good trade. Like, I thought he did a great job everything up until this point, but I don't know I know they're a team, they're not making the playoffs. And also, point I guess I'm forgetting is Granlund and Ceci both on expiring contracts. So okay, I mean I guess I get it. I just thought Granlund would be worth more than that. That's all. Like, he's decent. I mean I think I've had him in, or I do have him in fantasy. He's got decent numbers. He's a good player. Ceci, I don't know, whatever. Cody Ceci, I don't know. He's a veteran. That's about it. Because he's a center, you're willing to maybe, and I say this seriously, maybe do damage in the locker room, but because he's a center and there aren't any other centers out in the league that we could get. So just saying he's a center, again, not enough. What is it about Zegras that you are so shit hot about getting him? Because you're not out there saying, oh, get us a center. We need a center. You're saying you want Zegras. And I'm asking you why Zegras. And you're saying because he's a center. Because he's friends with Cole. Those aren't reasons to go and acquire somebody. No, you just want player. I don't even get it. I don't know why you'd want Drouin back. I don't know why you'd even mention KK for here. Again, you're not talking. I'm asking you about his fucking skills, dude. I'm not asking about his social connections. And if you can't answer that about his skills, then why does it have to be Zegras? What's the difference? Why you want to overpay for a player when you can probably do better for less? I don't want Turcotte. You've seen his performance. You can have Turcotte. Take him home. You can stay in your back room. But so you'd rather literally like screw the team up just because to see me have a fit over them acquiring Drouin. He has the handle of a talented player who doesn't always work hard. Enough said. Oh, okay. That's BL. Okay, making more sense. And there you go. You know that doesn't always work hard, isn't the biggest character player. I don't see a fit on the Habs except he can buddy up with Caulfield and they can share an apartment or something. I don't know. Yeah, I want my Habs to win. I don't need that kind of entertainment from them there, Phil. Then again, they said the same thing about Laine. Now, Laine does produce numbers, but we are seeing there may be something there. I don't know. I'm not saying anything against Laine. I'm not. I love the guy. I think he's going to be just fine. But you see the criticisms of him already. So maybe there was some truth there, and maybe there's some truth to what we hear about Zegras. And I'll just continue to say this actually about Zegras. If a GM that I really trust, and he has given me no reason not to trust what he's doing, if he goes and trades for Zegras, I'll be fine with that because I'll trust in him. But up until then, I don't see why he would. Let's move on to something different. I'm surprised nobody's talking about goalie injury at all. I'm really surprised because it looks like Goulie's done for the season. So the question becomes, how do we replace him and stuff like that? No one got any ideas, wants to talk about that? Jacob Dobish coming back down to earth a little bit. Wait a second. Does that say Jakey? Who am I thinking? Why am I missing that? Who is that? Jakey. Mayu has been called up, Elio. So Owen Beck and Logan Mayu were called up today. BLI lost. You lost me. I don't. What were we? We kind of were what? Okay. Oh, you're saying Jack-Eye. Okay. I don't know who the hell Jackie is. I'm sorry, Elio. No. Florian Jack-Eye's not ready. There's only so many roster spots also, Elio. So they called up Beck and Mayu. How are you calling up Jack Eye? There's no room. Did JFed see? I didn't. I've been looking for that shit all day. So Hughes came out and said they're not making a trade to add a defenseman. I'm surprised at that. I'm a little surprised at that. I have to say. I'll tell you. Here's something about Mayu. Now I wouldn't have come up with this, but this is from Craig Button because he says Mayu is not ready yet. And what has to change for Mayu is he's an offensive defenseman. And he's always kind of, how did he put it? Playing soft defense? Is that it? I don't think that's the word. But he's offensive minded. So right away, he's always looking to be ready to move forward instead of digging in and playing, right? Like Gooley does, like David Savard does. He's not there yet. He's not the guy to come up right now to replace Gooley. That's what I don't think he is. We'll see. I'm sure they're probably saying, listen, we'll go till we got the break for the Four Nations. Let's take a look at him and see what we got. And if we don't feel that he is the answer, then maybe then they'll go and get somebody. That could be what their thinking is. Which isn't, I don't mind that thinking at all because, you want to get these young guys developed and up here and playing. So if Mayu is ready, then I want him here playing. So yeah, having a look at him, I have no problem with that. I tell you the truth, I didn't think that they were going to call him. That's all. I kind of thought if they were going to call these guys up, that they would have done it already yesterday or the day before. And I thought a trade was coming. Does Gooley enter into that injury-prone player discussion? I'm not talking about that. Is he or isn't? I don't know. JFed, you said, yeah, but the other day, when you say the other day, like yesterday? I mean, this is only the other day that Gooley got injured. Hey, Joe. Things are good. How you doing there, Joe? Right? Gooley got injured against Winnipeg. Right? So we're Saturday. So you're talking about he got injured 4 days ago. So we're looking at Wednesday was all the news of it. When you say the other day, there's not a lot of other days there that he could have been out there saying that. So even if I didn't hear it, I thought I would have heard that. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I would have thought I'd heard that. But then that's the reason why I was so expecting a trade by today. Quiet day. Yeah, me too. It's cold outside. We didn't go anywhere today. Never too late. Montreal could potentially go to the playoffs. Not if they fall back any further. They're not. And although, listen, there's still a lot of games, right? Tomorrow's game is game 52. So after tomorrow, still 30 games. It's still a lot, and it's too early to really be able to say, they're out of it if they lose the next game, because that's just not the case. But 4-game losing streak in such a tight race, you're gonna find yourself on the outside looking in, and that's where they are right now. So they got to win a few games to get back in there. Mathematically, even I think Buffalo, everybody in the East is still mathematically still possible to make the playoffs. Well, I guess that's part of the point, right? We're still too far away yet to say definitively that they got to win or they're gonna be out, because there's other teams could have losing streaks in the next 30 games easy. That's a lot of games still. But the farther to fall down, the harder it is to climb over those teams. Don't forget, Heineman is coming back. He is coming back. He's got to be soon. They said 3 to 4 weeks. We got to be closing in on that. Last I checked, it was 10 days. That's got to be a week ago. Last I heard what it was. Yeah, I mean, Heineman could be back anytime soon. I wonder how the wrist fracture is going to affect his shot. We'll see. It couldn't have been badly fractured if it could be 3 weeks, I have not heard an update though yet on Heineman. If anybody has, let me know. I've heard nothing really about him. Did Jackeye win the game for them? That means they came back from being down. I think they came back and scored 3 or 4 unanswered goals, and then the winner in overtime. That's amazing. Elio, your spelling is interesting because I think you meant to say things could change, and they could, but also thinks could change, right? How they're thinking about things, and depending on what happens over, like that could change too. So it's interesting that you spelled it like that. It's been a half hour I've been on. You kidding me? Well, that's a quick half hour. I gotta say, that's a quick half hour. Did not feel like a half hour so far. All right. Well, who else can we talk about? Although we can continue talking about this. How do you think the pairings will go if they've called up Mayu. So how do you think the pairings will go? And does Mayu play over Struble? I mean, they didn't call Mayu up to sit in the press box. They didn't do that. So Mayu is going to play, I think, without a doubt. I think he plays with Jackeye. They had some chemistry in Laval. I think they start him there. Third pairing, Jackeye, Mayu. Or they continue. I think the last game, Jackeye was in the top 4. Or they continue to do that, and it's Savard and Mayu. Because I actually don't know that they want Savard to be in the top 4 or not. I don't know. What say you guys? What kind of pairings would you put together? And where does Beck play? I'm trying to think now. I guess till Heineman comes back. I guess Beck is in. Pizzetta will be out. Oh, I think I know why they sent Beck back down. And wasn't it was there an All-Star game or something? Because they're both Beck and Mayu are in the All-Star game. Or they needed them for I don't know. I have no idea anymore. I don't know. Just one of those days. Too much politics on the brain. They're kind of cutting it close, though, on who they're going to name to replace Pietrangelo. Makes sense, though, Doughty. I mean, makes sense. Experienced veteran. I mean, guy's tough as nails, plays hard. Makes sense to me. The AHL All-Star Games thing. So it hasn't happened yet. Well, they're both going to be in that. I mean, so they're probably up here just till that game. When is the All-Star game for the AHL? Because if that's like, say it's in sometime next week, then they're only up here for tomorrow's game. Although it's in California. Yeah, it makes sense, actually. They send them back down to the All-Star game, and they're already in California. I don't know. That's confusing, but that's probably what's going to happen. So expect both of those guys in the game tomorrow. Oh, geez, we're up to 16 people. 16 people. Come on. You got to have more people wanting to have a question or anything you got. Anything. Question, idea, a statement, a prediction, anything. Let's talk about it. It's this weekend? It's this weekend. Oh wait, you're tomorrow. So you mean next weekend coming with the weekend of the Super Bowl? So they're probably here for the 3 California games. They'll leave them in California for the All-Star game when they come back, and then they have New Jersey, and it's right here. I don't want to lift it up. I want to remember. Fuck. Tampa Bay. Oh. What? Oh, so the game is on Monday. So they called them up. So I was right at first. It's just for the game tomorrow. Then they're going to leave them there in California. And maybe after the game, then they call them back up. And they're already in California. So maybe that's the plan too. Anyway, it is what it is, right? Yep. Sunday and Monday, my time. So actually, when it's the second and third, but for you, it's the third and fourth, right? Bring back Shem Pickle. Who's Shem Pickle again? That's I can't remember. Well, why can't I remember his name? God damn it. I'm horrible tonight. Jesus. Hey, Jason, good to see you out there, buddy. Do I think Dvorak or Armia will be traded? Dvorak, I think, yeah, I think even if they think they're in the playoffs, I think they would still move Dvorak at the deadline. Maybe not. But even if he walks and get nothing, I don't know. Armia, I think it could, literally now at this point, I think it could go either way. They may want to re-sign Armia. I don't know what they're planning for next season or two, but Armia could get re-signed for a couple of seasons at obviously less money. There's no future for Pizzetta here. It doesn't mean Pizzetta can't catch on to another team. Rem Pitlick, yes, BL. That's what happened to him. Last I heard, he was in. We sent him to Pittsburgh. Then he went somewhere else, and I don't remember where, and I don't know what happened to him after that. But Giselle, that's not. I mean, you don't know that. You're saying that. I don't think you know that nobody's interested in those guys at all. Are you going to get much of a return for them? No, obviously you're not. Not Devo, not for Pizzetta. I don't think you're going to get much back. But it doesn't mean there's no interest at all. But you might be right. What's the latest on? I hear he's injured. I don't know anything more than that. I hear he is injured. There's other guys here that are at least watching that follow that more than I do. If anybody knows what the status of Joshua Roy is, we'd appreciate an update. Chicago, that's where Pitlick is. He's with the Rockford Ice Hogs. I was in Rockford, Illinois once. in, I can tell you exactly, 1984. 1984. Drove through there. Well, drove through there. I was on a truck, working on a truck, and we did a delivery in Rockford. So I think I was in Rockford, Illinois for about an hour in 1984. Jesus. Time fucking flies, man. I think Raw injury is pretty serious. I believe I heard he's out 4 or more weeks. I didn't hear what the injury is or actually any length. So, yeah, there you go. And there's your answer of what's with Joshua Raw. Yeah, just like I know they were down 4-1 and they scored. When I last heard, it was going to overtime. They had come back 3 goals, and then they wanted an OT. Nice. I think I want to say I heard Farrell had 3 points in that game in the comeback. I think that's what I read. Chafa says for Pitlick, he left Rockford July 1st and was not offered a contract and currently not playing, he believes. You got to think he'd be playing somewhere. I mean, he may not be much of an NHL player, but you got to think he'd catch on somewhere. Just then with Owen Beck and Mayu missing today because they both got called up. Honestly, though, they could have got called up after the. Is that possible? They got called up for after when the game was done. So that could be possible, but I didn't hear. I didn't hear which way it was. Really, I'm kind of surprised though. So maybe his contract was up and he was injured, so he hasn't gotten picked up anywhere. You'd think even if he was in Europe or something, he'd be playing somewhere. Is Lou and Patrick done if the Islanders miss the playoffs? Hearing the owner is not thrilled. Patrick Waugh, maybe not necessarily, depending on whether they fire Lou before he fires Patrick. Because that could be. But if Lou gets fired first, Patrick might not get fired. I would, kind of think if the Islanders are smart, they let Lou go. His day is done. They need a younger guy in there, a more modern GM. They've won 5 in their last 8. Is that going to get them to the playoffs, or are they going to do any damage? Probably not. But who knows? I mean, I don't know if it's Patrick Ross' fault or not. I haven't been following them close enough to really know that. So, but you never know. If they fire Lou first, right? The new guy comes in, might keep Patrick there. They're in the mix like we are. I know that part, but they were below it. I don't know right now if they still are. They were barely in the mix, but we dropped 4 games, so I don't know. It's just that pretty much everybody but Buffalo is in the mix in the East. Isn't that true? I mean, what was our last game? Thursday. That was true on Thursday. And we're just 2 days later. I doubt that's not true anymore. With 30 games to go, for sure. I doubt that's not true. Go once, going twice. So I guess I would think everybody knows, right? Tomorrow, 4:00. 4:00 starts. So don't forget that. Definitely, I'll be doing this. What else I got going? Monday is nothing, and then Tuesday and Wednesday they're in California for 10:30 p.m. starts. I hate those. I do believe, though, for the rest of the season, I don't think we have any late starts like that after that because they don't have to go out to the West, I don't think, anymore at all for any team. They've done them all. So that's good, but I hate 2 back-to-back games that are at 10:30 at night. Hate that. Tomorrow is Groundhog Day? Tomorrow is Groundhog Day? Really? That's odd because that's like the first time hearing about it. And it's really? That makes sense. Then we'll find out. Yeah, that makes sense that it would be tomorrow. Ottawa has been third in the Atlantic for at least a few days. She's like, they were on Thursday. They were third in the Atlantic. Got to update your news, dude. Tampa's out of the playoffs right now. Yeah, I know. When you put that kind of stuff in there in the chat, I feel like you think I don't know very much. And you're trying to inform me of these very basic things. Are you saying because of Boston winning today? Yeah, well, I knew that. But who did actually? I'm wondering who did they take the wild card spot from? Tampa, I guess, right? Anyways, Montreal needs to get back in the winning column. That's for sure. I was hoping I don't know why. Honestly, I don't. Okay, the Boston Rangers game. I watched second and third period, most of it. I don't like either team, and I don't know why. I was going for New York. I don't know why. So, but I don't like either team. I guess I hate Boston more than New York. Now that Trouba's gone too from New York, it's not as bad. What's being in the mix? What do you mean? They have a chance to make the playoffs. That's being in the mix. Anybody else want to try to answer that? What's your definition of being in the mix? I don't know that it's necessarily a certain amount of points. It's not only, I don't know that it's only about points away. Also, you have to take into account the team and how they're playing and shit like that. But I don't know. I'm not going to try to answer that. I haven't seen the standings since Thursday. Let me take a look. See if I can figure out what the hell you're talking about. Standings. Okay, so Boston's got 58 points. Buffalo has 45. They're not in the mix. Pittsburgh, who's next up, has 50. They're barely in the mix, but I'd say they're sort of in the mix. Buffalo, not. So there you go. Does that answer it? But Pittsburgh's in the mix, you got to say. If they can rack off or knock off like 4 or 5 wins in a row, they move up a little bit there, so they're in the mix. With 30 games to go, yes, they are. Yeah. Yeah, BL, I think that's fair. If you're double digits out by 4 nations, yeah. Because like Buffalo, I mean, they're 13 points out of the last wild card. They're not making that. They're not climbing up. They don't have the time to climb up from the bottom. There's just not. Pittsburgh, it's barely. To me, Pittsburgh, yeah, Pittsburgh barely. Even though it's just 2 difference between them and Flyers and Rangers. Flyers and Rangers, Habs, Islanders, they're hanging in there. But, I mean, there's some separation now because Detroit's 55 points, Lightning 57, right? Islanders, Canadiens, 53 points. Rangers, Flyers, 52. So the Habs need to start winning again, or they are going to find themselves maybe too far back. And it wouldn't take that long. Lose 2-3 more games in a row like that, and you're out of it. But by the same token, win 2-3 games in a row, right? And they move back up a little bit. As long as somebody ahead of you loses when you're winning. We got 15 good games series. What do you mean by that? What is a good game series? I don't know what you mean. Boston has played more games than most teams below have games in hand. So let's take a look. Boston 54, Montreal 51. So yeah, so that's I didn't look at that even, right? So Islanders also 50. So everybody under Boston has games in hand. Even Columbus has games in hand. And as everybody, just varying if it's 1, 2, or 3 games in hand. So Boston, precariously there, right? So that kind of makes everybody, there you go, in the mix too, right? Makes them more in the mix than what I thought. It's really, the East is tight. What does my buddy Alex think of what Philly did? I don't know 100%. I mean, he does like, I don't know 100% though. We're going to talk about it on Monday on the podcast. So we're going to talk about all the trades that have just happened. So tune in on Tuesday to find out. That's over on the other channel on Don't Puck with Media. Link is in the description. And if you want to listen on Spotify, link is in the description for that as well. Don't have to imagine it. It's just that we've been through it before. That's what happens. That's why from game one, it's important to win every game if you can. And that's what's hard about coming from behind, right? Team that's had a really great start may start losing a bit, but you might still not be able to catch up because they don't need, they just need to play at a certain level to stay ahead. That's why you got to win them all. Well, you can't win them all, but, every game's important. Every win's important. Gislain is the king of cliches tonight. The season is a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Isn't that what they say? That's why it's not easy. I mean, it takes a few years for a young team to learn how to, I don't know if pace themselves is the right word, but to have that killer instinct and win all season long. It's not easy to do. Captain Obvious tonight, Gislain. Sorry to tell you. All right. Well, anyway, I'm looking for. We're coming soon to the end. I can't believe it's already an hour. I'm looking forward to seeing them win again. So hopefully that starts tomorrow against the Ducks. What do you guys say? What do you think? Should be an easy win tomorrow for our Montreal Canadiens. I don't like to say. I hope they don't look past this game, obviously, but I mean they should win this game tomorrow. It's just that there's 32 teams in the league. Do you really think we would be the only team changing lines to see what's working and what's not? Come on, dude. Come on. Hey, Randy, how's it going? Give Owen Beck some playing time? He got playing time when he was here. I didn't say the win tomorrow would be easy. That I didn't say. I said they should win this game, though. And Randy, explain that actually. What do you mean by give him some playing time? How much playing time? You want him to play? You want him to replace Nick Suzuki? But okay, buddy, where do you want him to play to get more playing time? If he's going to be on the fourth line, he's not getting more than that. If he's on the third line, he's getting slightly more than that. He's not going to be on the second line, and he's not going to be on the first line. So I don't know how much more you want him to get. Again, but that's, again, see, you guys, I don't know. I ask questions, not answering them. That doesn't answer my question. You just said, if Habs are losing, got to change it up. How? I'm asking you how. If you're going to say, got to give him more ice time, explain how. I'm asking you to explain that. You don't have to come in here and explain it, but I'm asking you to. What's my opinion on getting back on track? Honestly, I kind of think that might not happen until after the break for the Four Nations. It's a tired team. They're about to go out on the West Island, if only there, on the West Coast for the third time in a little over a month, I think. They're tired. They've had hard games against hard opponents, and they've won a lot of those games, and they're tired. So my opinion is you might not see a huge improvement. I'm hoping for, like I was asked this before last game. I was hoping for 3-3 in those 6 games. There you go. I'm hoping they have a 500 record in the last 6 games before the break, and then they're rested when they come back. So that's how I think they get back on track. I don't think bringing up Owen Beck and then making him a second line center is going to get him back on track. I mean, I like Owen Beck. I think he's going to be a really good player, but is he going to move the needle that much by coming up here and, okay, so throw him an extra 5 minutes. Oh, we're going to win. I don't think that. I don't see that. I did answer your question. So you want to play him third line. So how many minutes does Dvorak get? And if Jake Evans is third line center, really you're going to play him over Jake Evans? I can see him over Dvorak. I wouldn't disagree. And I don't know. He's probably going to play wing, right? So he could play wing on the third line, but even that, how many minutes is that going to be? That's all. I don't think he gets second line wing or first line wing minutes. You're hoping 5, yeah, but I thought, Randy, honestly, sure, I'm hoping 5-1 too. I don't see that. Now, Ducks at San Jose, yeah, I think they should win those games. LA, I don't know. New Jersey, Tampa Bay, I don't know that that's like written in stone that you're going to win those games, right? So, at this point now, they lost that last one. So if they win 3 out of the 5, I'm going to be happy. If we win tomorrow, does this mean we make the playoffs? Have you been listening to what I've been saying? Okay, and let me ask, I'm going to turn that around to you. I'm going to ask you that. What are you going to say to that? I'm reading what you're asking me, and I don't understand why you would ask that at all. So you're saying if the answer is no, if I'm saying no, if they won't, that doesn't mean they're going to make the playoffs. Then why bother with getting the most points and finish 9-10 in the East? Why? Because that's where they're going to finish? 30 games left, and it's, wow, let's give up now. We've been pushing hard all year to get there. Let's give up now because there's nothing else we can do. Really? Wow. I would hope the team isn't about, okay, let's now backtrack and let's see if we can get a top 5 pick. Like, come on. They're committed to doing the best they can this year, maybe making the playoffs. That's how I see it. They got to do what they can to push to keep doing that. And I think that's what their mindset is, to do that. So it's why I'm a little bit surprised that if he said there won't be a trade for a defenseman, like I don't know if that's for the rest of the season or it's just up until, these last few games before the break. I don't know. If it's just the last few games before the break, that's fine. I'd be surprised they're not going to, with Gooley out for the rest of the season, that they're not going to try to do something to give these guys a chance to still make the playoffs. Hell, Gordon kind of already said that. Not about the Gooley situation in that, but he basically said that if they can do anything to, they'll do it. And, well, they need to do something. That's it. Nobody else. All righty. Good thing we're almost at the end. Last call for alcohol. Well, how do you maximize the quality? You have the picks. To maximize the quality of the pick is scouting and making the right pick. It has nothing to do with not finishing as high as you can. I think you're all. Are you bipolar by chance? Again, you guys, you know what? Here's what I'm arguing against. You're judging them off of a game here or there and going, but really, have you not seen during the season how judging over a game or two, you judge wrongly? There's 30 games left. It's not like there's 10. It's not like there's 15. There's 30 games left. That's enough time for them to have recovered from this losing streak and why wouldn't they be pushing for that? Because if they're still not going to push for that, why did they push at all this season then? You're going to trade 2 picks away to get a better rank at what? You trade 2 picks and you're going to drop down. That's what you're saying? They should move up in the draft. Well, wait till the draft gets here to worry about that, for Christ's sake. Does it look like I got a crystal ball here? Yeah, Joe, I kind of thought they were going to make a trade. I think calling up Mayu and Beck signals that they're not. So, yeah. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to at all. Shazad, you realize we're 30 games away from the playoffs. We are 3 months plus away from a draft. You're like this premature. My opinion, you're talking way prematurely. I don't know how you're getting there. Well, of course, there's issues with this team. We're third year of a freaking rebuild. No one said this team was where they need to be fully. And yeah, I think Gordon actually did mention that. And when you say stopgap, well, this is because of an injury. Gordon kind of did say it. I had that some quotes of his from in a video just the other day. It's just that I don't give a shit what I believed, what you believe, what that guy believes. The games are played on the ice, dude. On the ice. I don't go into. If I'm in management, I wouldn't be. Oh well, what do we believe will happen this season? Oh, we don't believe we'll make the playoffs. Oh well, then just sell everybody right now. Why even bother playing the games? Like that's what to me. That's the attitude you're giving me. I don't get it. Habs need a lot of players to. Okay, I'm not going there with you anymore. I'm sorry. Stay the course, dude. Stay the course. That's what they got to do. Oh, yeah, you're easily going to find another center like Nick Suzuki. Just, come on. They're in a damn playoff race. Why do you want them to drop it already? They're not out of it. Anyways, now's when they got to decide what they're going to do, really. Are they buyers or sellers? Do they think they've got a chance for the playoffs or not? So we'll see. Any single trade? No, I don't think any single trade will change the reality of this team either. Except if you're gonna replace Gooley with somebody experienced, you give them a chance to make the playoffs. You know what? Making the playoffs isn't about winning a cup for the Habs. That's not what it's about. It's part of the development, part of this team learning, playing in meaningful games late in the season, experience a playoff run. Those are important experiences. And they're at that point in their development in this rebuild that those are important experiences. And that is straight out of the mouth of Hughes. Maybe not exactly those words, but that sentiment. You forgot Doc Aiken. What happened with Doc? 10 goals in a very short period of time once he started playing better. That's not offense? Only line A. You guys got short memories, man. And you got such confidence in yourself there, Aiken. I don't know that. I mean, we're losing Gooley. Are you going to replace Gooley? No. You can manage that loss, though. I don't agree with you at all on that. And no, he will not jeopardize the future. They are staying the course. I've just said that. But you don't have to jeopardize the future to offset the loss of Gooley this season and keep yourselves moving forward. You got the draft picks. You've got what you need to make a trade like that, and it won't hurt you at all. Wow. You know what? It's time for the negativity's coming. I don't want to deal with it. They lost 4 games in a row. Yes, they lost 4 games in a row. When they were winning last month, I didn't see any of this garbage. None of it. And now they lost 4 in a row, and you guys are converting back to being like, oh, the sky's falling. It's the end. Come on, guys. Be a little more positive, right? I don't get it. Just like with what you just said there, how the fuck do you want them to win a cup if they can't make the playoffs and get some fucking experience there? How? You guys nobody ever changed their stance. It's only me. Jesus Christ. You know what? I change my stance. You know why I change my stance sometimes? Because I get better information, or somebody puts it to me in a way that, oh, yeah, I actually see it that way. That's when I change. I get better information. I'm getting different information all the time. So, yeah, I'll change my stance. Sorry if that's a problem. You can't be the best team in the league without fucking losing. Did you know that? Okay. It's enough. I don't want to scream at you guys. I apologize for losing my shit. Have a good one. I'm taking off. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. I've had an emotional day. What can I say? I just don't get it. I don't get how you want to win a cup, but you don't want the fucking experience of getting there. I don't get it. That's it. That's where I stand. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for being here. Even though I got upset, I appreciate y'all. So thanks for being here. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out. Enjoy Saturday night. It's only 20 after 9. Still early. Anyways, everyone's allowed their opinions. We all have them. Ciao, everybody. Have a good one. Enjoy tonight. Thanks for watching. If you like this, give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please share this video.